Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for sticking with me. Okay, today, guys, I have a very interesting video. Okay, like it's interesting, but it's also important. We know these things. The topic or the title of the video is: should you rent your apartment out, or you should just sell it out as a first-time real estate investor? Especially here in Warri. Okay, should you rent your house out, or you should just sell it out? Which one is better? Which one is going to make you money more? Which one is going to make you more money? Okay, guys. All right. So before we go into before I just say my own point or give you my point or my perspective, I would like to say that every decision in life, no matter how many people give you advice, you'll still be the one to pick one of these different 100 advice, and invariably you're the one advising yourself. Invariably you're the one advising yourself. So now the question is, what should you do when it comes to the house? You have money, you want to build a house. So what should you do with the house? As a real estate investor, should you start renting it out, or should you just sell it out? Okay, now let's say you're renting this house out for you're going to put your house on rentage for 5 years, right? For 5 years. So you have two bedroom, then one self-contained. So the 2 bedroom should be 30 to 35,000. Then self-contained is 20 to 25,000. So now the 2 bedroom, now let's say 35,000. Now you're going to do the calculation. 35,000 times 12. 35,000 times 12 should give you around 420,000. Then that 420,000 times 5 years. Times 5 years should give you about 4.2 million, right? 4.2, right? So for this two bedroom flat, two bedroom flats, you should be having up to 4.2 million for this 5 years. Okay, for this 5 years. Now let's talk about the self-con. The self-con, you should have about, if you do the calculation, 25,000 times 1 year, that is 12 months. 25 times 12, then whatever it gives you it should be about 300,000. 300 times 5, 300 times 5. So when you add this whole maths together, when you add these numbers together, it should be giving you around 5.7 million. So 5.7 million, right? Now you're going to 5.7 million in 5 years. In 5 years, if you really have that money, you can use it to invest in other properties, right? You can invest, you can use it to buy anything, you can use it to buy land or even build. Okay, but now you will not just say, oh, in 5 years I got 5.7 million naira from this building. Okay, you are going to calculate, if everything, now are you paying for management? Are you paying a lawyer to manage the house for you? Are you paying a caretaker? Other fees inside. So when you deduct all of these fees, how much are you having left? So how much are you having left? Whatever you have left is what you really have, right? So now there are fees like the management fee. What about the security? What about the light? If all the other things like security, light, everything is on the name of your tenant, then you will now know, okay, I'm only paying for management, right? So if you need to know all of this before you really conclude on whether you should rent the house out or to just sell it. Let's say you just sell it out. Now you have so many things to consider when you're renting houses out, right? You consider the type of tenants that will come into your apartment. You don't just rent out. You need to consider, are people going to take care of your house the way you would take care of it? Or let's say you sell it out, the way the person will take care of it? Because there are so many expenses. You need to be repairing things. They will call you that this thing is not working. Just some wear and tears on the wall, on just anywhere, you have to be repairing and repairing. So should you just rent it out, or now should you sell? So when you consider all of this, you now know, oh, okay, now let me give myself extra 5 years. So to make it 10 years, in 10 years you've gotten like more than the money you're using paying or building the house, everything. Okay, now the house is still yours, right? The house, everything is still yours. You've made the money back, everything. So if you want to think about it like that, you are good to go. Okay, so now if you also want to you will still consider, is that place going to appreciate? Now you cannot just build a house for 10 million naira and the rentage is let's say for 2-bedroom flats. Now they are renting it for 10,000-15,000 naira. So how much is going to be your profit? How much are you going to make in 10 years? So you don't just let me build in any location and then start renting it out. No. How much is going to be your profit if you build on a location that is still underdeveloped? People are not really paying high for rentage over there. So now let's say 2-bedroom flat in certain places should be around 15,000 or 20,000. So how long are you going to how many years are you going to be able to gather all of this money plus all the other expenses you are going to be putting out there? Then you consider that, should you just, if you're just okay, let me build this house here, start renting it out, even if I'm not making any reasonable profit from inside now, I know in 5 years time, in 6 years time, things must have appreciated over here. The cost of living here must have gone high, everything must have gone high, land and buildings must have appreciated drastically. Then you are good to go. So you need to consider, you don't just houses are expensive in Warri, let me build and start renting out. Okay, for me, I would prefer you rent outright, but you need to consider all of this, so you not be they are saying houses are expensive but I'm not getting anything from it. So you need to put all of this into consideration. How much is the rent over there? The particular place you're buying the land, you're building on, how much are they paying for rent there? You need to consider that. You need to consider your expenses. Do you have management? Are you paying for management? Are you paying for all the other fees, or are some of the fees on the tenant's name? You need to consider all of this. Then you need to consider the damages, the wear and tear. Of course, they will pay for cultural agreement, which is for damages and all of that. But yeah, you need to consider that too, because you need to okay, once in 2 months, once in 3 months, you'll be going to your house for checkup to see if things are in order. Okay, then you also need to consider how much things will appreciate over there in certain years. So you need to put so many things into consideration before you conclude that you're going to start renting it out. Okay, so that's number one. Another thing is, if you want to sell it out, now let's talk about you wanting to sell it out. Okay, so you look at the land, you look at how much it costs you to build it. You spend, let's say, 10 million naira on the building, and now you consider the renting in 5 years time, in 10 years time. So within 10, it will take me 10 years to get this money back. It will take me. So what should I just do? Should I just sell it the next year and then get my money back? Okay, let's say you rent it out for 2-3 years, and then the 3rd year you just sell it out. That's still a good thing. Let's say you rent it out within 2 to 3 years, you must have made up to 3 million or more than. Then the remaining one, you just sell it off, and let's say you sell it for about 8 million, 10 million, 12 million. So now if you build a house, let's say 10 million naira, and you decide to sell it out that very moment, that you can sell it for you have the house now. Let's say you spend 10 million naira on the house. Okay, this house now, if you should sell it, let's say the two-bedroom and then 1 self-contained, you spend 10 million naira on it, and then you decide to sell it. Here in Warri, you can sell it for 15 to 20 million naira. Let's say 14, 15 to 20 million naira. So you will now ask yourself, should I sell, or I should just keep it? Should I keep it or sell it out? For me, I wouldn't say if you have a property, you shouldn't hold on to a property if it's not yielding income, right? You shouldn't hold on to a property if it's not yielding income. So for me, if I see that okay, it's not really yielding income, I can just sell it out. If it's a negative return, or just like if it's a negative return or a mild return, I will just sell it out. I will just sell it out rather than keep it and then, So if it's a negative return, or if it's not yielding income, or like if the income is way below what I would get if I sell it out, I'll just sell it out. So now that is it. Let me just give you a run through of it again. If you're considering to build a house and you're thinking, should you sell it or turn it into a rental property? Now, the thing you should consider if you want to turn it into a rental property, is how much you spent on the building, the total amount. Then you're going to consider the amount of rentage over there in that particular location that you built the house. You consider the rentage, then you do your maths, you add up everything and see what you'll be having in 5 years to 10 years time. And then you also consider the expenses. Let's talk about the management fee, the utilities, the maintenance and all of that. Consider these expenses and know, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And then you also look at yourself, are you someone that can handle people's character? Because you having tenants, you have to deal with a lot of people. You need to learn human behavior. You just need to learn human being, So are you willing to deal with all of that? If you see that your answer to all of this is yes, then you can go ahead. And also, if you just want to have that space, have that building, and have it in mind that in 5 years, 6 years time, that particular location, that area must have appreciated drastically, then you are good to go. But now, if you're thinking of selling it out, you will now ask yourself, the money I will make in selling this building out, is it okay? Is it better for me? Like, if you calculate and now you see your profit, why not just sell it out? And let's say you purchase, you build everything, you spend 10 million naira, and then at the end of the day you are selling it for like 15 million naira. You've made 5 million naira without much expenses and all of that. So that is it. You need to consider all of this, because I know people are saying rentage is expensive here in Warri, but you need to, as a real estate investor, you need to weigh it very well and know if it's worth it, if renting it out is better or selling it out. So now I still leave the answer to you. You have to choose yourself, but I've given you the basis, what you should put into consideration when making your decision. So that is it. Okay guys, this is it. The question again is, which one is better? Should you rent it? Should you turn your property into a rental property, or you should sell it out here in Warri? So now I'm giving you all the reasons you should know about it. Okay guys, so now one thing you should know is that at the end of the day, what you want is profit. What you want to make is profit. What you want is income, more income. So you now weigh it, okay? Because every business person needs more income. Your income should be, like whatever you get should be higher than the cost price, right? So that is it. You should put into consideration that is money you want to make from it, okay? Because we are looking at the money perspective of everything. As a real estate investor, it's the money perspective we are looking at, okay? So now know that at the end of the day, it's money you want to make. So I leave you with that. So let me know in the comment section which one you want to do, okay? Is this video helpful? Is it okay? Do you love it? Now let me know in the comment section which one you want to do and how did this video help you out, okay? And if you've not subscribed, please do so. Help me out by subscribing to my channel. Like my video, okay? Guys, if you like, it helps YouTube to push my videos the more people, please like and click on that share button, okay? Share on all your social media platforms, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, okay? And then tag me on all of those platform. Tag me on Facebook, tag me on Instagram, or tag me on Twitter. Okay, please share my videos. And when you tag me, just let me know that I did it. And also, if you have a video idea for me, put it down in the comment section. Okay, put it down in the comment section. And if you like the video suggestion that someone puts down in the comment section, all you have to do is to like that comment. So if a video or a video suggestion gets 10 likes, I'm going to do that video. Okay, it's a goal for me. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Peace out.